Well, hey guys, let's take a few minutes and show you how you can use a spreadsheet, something like Google Sheets here, which is part of the Google Docs sort of package. Google Sheets is a spreadsheet that will allow us to do some summary of some data and statistics. We can do like our 5-number summary and find a few other things much easier than just doing it by hand. So we need some numbers first of all. So how are we going to type these numbers in? Well, first thing, let's just quickly talk about what these boxes are. If you've not used a spreadsheet before, just a real crash course, each one of these boxes I'm clicking in is called a cell. Okay, so this is cell A1, this would be cell C1, C2. So we name them by the column and the row. I can type different things into a cell. I can type numbers straight in. So if I wanted to put in some random numbers, I could do that. And you'll see up here in this little input bar, that value also shows up. So if I was to pick another one down here, you'll see here, that's the value of what's in the cell. Now, instead of numbers, I can also type in what we call formulas. I can tell the cell to do a calculation. They start with an equal sign. So that tells the spreadsheet, hey, I'm not putting in a number now, I'm putting in a formula. Now, we're going to use this feature to come up with our random numbers. So I'm going to type equals R-A-N-D, and you'll see I've got an option to pick rand, or in this one case, I want this one, rand between. It picks for me a random number between two values. So when I click it, I can now type, say I want a minimum value of 1, put a comma, and 100. Close the bracket. So what that's going to do is select a random number between 1 and 100. When I hit enter, that's exactly what it does. It's now picked a random number. Now when I click on that cell, I see up here that I don't have the number, I have the formula. Now how can I copy that down? Because I want 20 of these. Well, in the bottom right corner, this little sort of square here, when I hover over it, see how my cursor changes to a cross? If I click and drag that down to the 20th row, I can see here 20, there are my 20 random numbers now between 1 and 100, just picked at random, okay? Now, if I click in each of those, you'll see up here in the function bar that it's not giving me a number, it's just showing me there's a formula in there. All right, so far so good. We've got 20 random numbers that we want to work with. Now, what if I want to put them in order? Well, if I click in the top right corner of this column, I get the option to sort from A to Z, which will mean to put the lowest at the top, highest at the bottom. But there's a problem. When I do it, when I click on this, you'll see that doesn't look right. They are not in order. Now, the reason is it doesn't have numbers in these cells. It just has a formula. So it's just shuffled the formula. So let's fix that problem. I'm going to click and drag over my 20 numbers. I'm going to right click and select copy. I'm going to paste my numbers over the top. So in cell A1 now, I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit paste special. And what I want to paste is the values only. So you'll see those same numbers are there. They haven't changed. But now, when I click on them, have a look up here in the function bar. The numbers show up. So now let's see what happens when I sort them. Sort from A to Z. Perfect. They're in order now from 1 through to 99. 20 random numbers between 1 and 100. All right, let's do some analysis now with that data. So let's do, if you can remember, our 5-number summary. Okay, so we've got, for our 5-number summary, we've got a minimum, and we've got a maximum, and we've got a median score in the middle, and we've got a Q1 and a Q3, okay, our first and third quartiles. We might also want to know our average or mean, and let's also look at the mode, the score that occurs the most. All right, let's see if we can get these values out of this set of data without having to sort of count them out and do it manually. First of all, well, the minimum's easy. Because we sorted them, I can see the minimum is 1. I can see that the maximum is 99. So I could put that in, but let's have a look and see if the computer can do it for me. I'm going to type equals, and I'm going to start to write MIN, and it says the minimum value. When I click on that, it opens up a bracket. Now, if I click and drag over my scores and hit enter, it's worked out for me the minimum. And here's the formula it's doing. It's say, show me the minimum value between cells A1 and A20. All right, good. Let's do the same now for our maximum. Equals maximum. For this set of data, hit enter, and the maximum is 99. Now, we knew that, but the computer just checked for us. All right, the median, the score in the middle. Now, there's 20 scores, so I'm going to have 10 in the bottom half right, down to 64, and I'm going to have 10 in the top half. So I can see my median is going to be halfway between 64 and 69. But let's get the computer to work it out for us. I'm going to go to my median, and I'm going to hit equals MED, the median. What's the median of, click and drag over my data, hit enter, and it's correctly worked out for me that the median is 66.5. Okay, the middle score of this set of data is 66.5. Now, let's do the quartiles. Small problem here. I'm going to show you guys a little trick. There is a function in here. If I go equals quartile, I can say, well, give me the quartile of this data. And if I hit comma 1, you'll see up here in the menu function bar, it says, give me the first quartile. When I hit that, it says 37. And you might think, okay, move on. But let's check. That's not actually right. The first quartile is going to be between our 5th and 6th scores. Okay, so that's in here. I want halfway between 25 and 41 is not 37. There is a problem with the way the computers do quartiles. So we're going to delete that. And we're going to do it this way, because the way we've learned it is that the first quartile is the median of the bottom half. So I'm just going to go equals the median of the first 10 scores, because there's 20 scores. So I want the median of the first 10, and we hit enter, I get 33. That makes much more sense now. That is halfway between 25 and 41. All right, let's do the same with Q3. Equals the median of the top half, so scores 11 to 20, and that gives me my median. There you go. I've got my 5-number summary now. Minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and a maximum. And I can start to use those, maybe to create a box and whisker plot, to start to make some comments about data, maybe compare 2 sets of data. Let's look at the last 2, because they're nice and easy. What if I want the average of this data? Well, I could write equals average of my data set, click and drag, hit enter. 57.45 is our average. What's the mode? Remember, mode is the score that occurs the most. Well, in this case, if I go mode and I click over my data, I don't see, actually there it is, 96. Looks like 96 occurs twice. Okay, and so it gives me the mode as 96. Now, if there was no mode, if there was no number that occurred more than any other, it would just come up with an error. Guys, I'm going to stop there, because that's probably enough to get you going now. We've learned how to create some random numbers. We've learned, if we've got values, how we can sort them. And we can do our 5-number summary and find some other things like the average and the mode. Have a play with a set of data. See if you can sort of recreate what we just did in the video. Make up your own set of data and see if you can go about doing exactly what we did. Good job. Well done.